Hello again, it's me, the guy with the YouTube channel, and today, you know what I'm gonna be doing? Yeah, you guessed it. So not a review, because I have nothing better to do with my life. Anyways, today we are going to be reviewing the Bandai 2007 Ultra Hero Series Powered Baltan reissue. Before I get on to the history, which, well, actually no, we'll go to the history first. Which, in case you don't know, I do the history for Ultra Monsters and only Ultra Monsters. I don't do it for Godzilla or Gamera Monsters. So for history, he appeared in the 1993 show Ultraman Powered, Episode 1, in which the Baltans are pursued to Earth by Ultraman Powered, and then they send 3 Baltans down to Earth to do what else? You guessed it, the one thing aliens are good at: conquer Earth and fail in the process. Which, they all 3 Baltans combine into one large Baltan, and Powered eventually shows up, fights Powered Baltan, and kills him. The suit would then appear in the final episode of Ultraman Powered alongside the Psycho Baltan suit, but only for about a couple seconds before the ship gets blown up. So anyways, before we get to the detail, here's the tag. He is number 29 in the 2007 Ultra Monster series. I'm assuming that says Powered Baltan Seijin. There's a picture of the 93 Powered suit, which, there's a weird stuff going on in the background. Assuming that says Urutora Hero Series. No, Urutora Monster Series, or Urutora, I don't know. What do I know? Japanese? Nah, man, what do I look like, a language professor? Or it just says Ultra Monster Series. Might be a little focused on the back. There's no monster info whatsoever, because with this series, only the kaiju that came with game cards actually had monster info, and Powered Baltan obviously does not. So, on to the detail. This mold was originally made in 1993, but we'll get to that in the end. And as you can see, he's got metallic gold sprays on his ankles, pretty basic detailing on his legs. There's some sculpted detailing in these weird looking triangle things on his knees. There's some gold spray around them, sort of a greenish blue on these bone parts, and a more aqua blue for the vinyl. Some metallic turquoise color on other parts of the figure. And one thing that's inaccurate is this part right here is actually supposed to continue up to about here, and this triangle is supposed to be on his shoulder, and this one is supposed to be there. Because as you can see on the suit, this thing goes up to about there on the suit, whereas on the figure it doesn't. But honestly, minor issue, and kind of makes it look better than the suit did. Like going up his head, nicely done. He got his mouth, his little trunk nose thing, which he uses to spray gas. His eyes probably should be a darker orange, but minor issue. And so the gold spray on top of his ears, that is what they are. He's an alien after all. The claws, they're nicely done, but they have that weird filling inside them. He has a very interesting sort of techno design to him. On the back, his tail, and actually in the show, his tail actually spreads in half and forms wings. Like the bottom half, they're like butterfly wings, so this part comes out, and these 2 triangle bits up here come out into the bigger section of the wings. I'd mention that because it's an interesting thing about this Baltan. So, detail is pretty good. Articulation, the arms can go 360. Now this articulation is at epic proportions here, and we've only scraped the iceberg here. Ready for the rest of it? The waist, and also the other arm can move. Waist goes 360. Yeah, y'all watching this here? This is and kind of can't because it's not really meant to, but it's soft vinyl, so it can move. And the claws, they also go 360. They're a little stiff. That is round of applause for Bandai for, yeah, but obviously that's not very good articulation, but, you know, whatever. And, yeah, that's an issue with the figure. He's not very good at standing, so for sizing, here's who else the Ultra he fought. Ultraman Powered. Finally, this figure actually has meaning in review, instead of just being a generic Ultra Hero Series figure to show. But, there we go. A little less blurry, and I would say this is pretty accurate. For once, the monster is bigger than the Ultraman. Powered should be a little bit bigger, because they are right in front of each other in the episode at one point. And Powered is crouching slightly, so he's about that tall. Baltan is bent over a little bit, so maybe Powered should be a little bit bigger, but I'm not going to complain, because for once, an Ultraman is bigger than the monster. I'm just going to lay him down, because it's a nightmare getting this guy to stand on set. Next, here is the just an ordinary Ultra Act figure, just to show you how big they are together. Nothing really that special there. Here is the Ultra Hero Alpha Ultraman Cosmos Corona mode, who is in a very odd pose right now. Let's just get him out of that. There we go. Again, same size as the rest of them. Nothing really special, but they look good together. Next, here's the Ultra Monster Series Bajirus, because I think Bajirus should actually be as big as Baltan, or at least up to about Baltan's eye. Although if he was, I'm pretty sure this figure would take up a lot more space. But yeah, I just wanted to show you, to show how big this figure actually should be. And next, here is the SH Monster Arts Mechagodzilla 1993. Oh yeah. Yeah, because you see that in 1993, yes, you get a gold star. There you go. Now, sorry, bring him in. This is in no way accurate. Mechagodzilla should be like that big, but it's just make for an interesting battle, I guess. Next, here is the SH Monster Arts Godzilla 1995 Rebirth version, or Birth version. Again, just as a standard SH Monster Arts figure. Put the camera there, just to give you an idea of how big he looks. They look good together, you know, in no way accurate, I'm sure, but nonetheless, they look good. I'm just going to leave Baltan on the ground. Here is the 50th Anniversary Memorial Box Godzilla 1975, because this is just my go-to show of Godzilla, because it's the only one I have. And I'd say this is an accurate sizing. 50 meters, probably a lot over 50 meters, I don't really know, but they look good. Next, here is the NECA Godzilla 2014. Because just about everyone has this figure, regardless if they like it or not. And, again, this is just to give you an idea of how big he is, because, or at least this guy is, because if this was accurate, Godzilla would probably be like that big compared to Baltan. And finally, here's just a ordinary Pacific Rim standard kaiju figure, just to give you an idea of how big this figure looks compared to a Pacific Rim kaiju, and he is almost as tall as Axe Head is, so you can see he's a fairly tall figure, although he did, obviously, because he's thin, like Bajirus has about the same amount of vinyl as Baltan, but is way smaller. So yeah, now on to the final part of the review. History of the figure and pricing. This figure was originally released in 1993, along with all the other powered monsters, to coincide with the release of Ultraman Powered, the American Ultraman series. Made in America Ultraman series, because Powered never broadcast in the US. Anyways, I'll mention that if I ever get around to reviewing Powered, but it was originally released in 1993 and had a much darker paint job than this. I've seen that figure in slightly harder vinyl, but not really, and it's actually easier to spin him at the waist in claws, oddly enough. You'd think this figure would be because he's really soft vinyl, but it isn't, and he just, overall, much darker looking paint job, and then was re-released in 2007 as part of the Ultra Monster series is what you're looking at. Although the mold was retooled that same year in 1993 for Psycho Baltan, and what they did was sculpted new open claws and resculpted the ears to be that weird red swirly thing, which was already accurate to Psycho Baltan, but they added the weird butterfly wings as an actual removable accessory, but they were made out of brittle plastic. Also, Psycho Baltan didn't have the big butterfly wings when he appeared in the episode, so, yeah. And the pricing of the figure, probably one of the cheapest powered monsters you can get, regardless of which release it is. On eBay, they're usually around $10 to $15. I got this for $17 on Amazon, and that was a while after it came out. Voice just cracked there. After it came out. Yeah, anyways, sound like a horse. And, yeah, probably the cheapest powered monster you can get. I'd say Baltan, Pigmon, and Jamila are the cheapest powered monsters. Powered Zeton is also becoming slightly cheaper, or at least last time I checked a few years ago, he was like going for $20, so yeah, powered monsters are really a sort of, some will be cheap, some will be expensive, you never really know. And Psycho Baltan, if you're looking for that figure, is probably the rarest, most expensive powered monster, and even then, if you do get one on eBay, it'll probably come with the wings shattered and broken because they're brittle plastic. So anyways, that's it for this review. I'm going to give this figure, I give it a 7 out of 10. You know, it's a pretty good figure if you like Ultraman powered like me. So basically, if you're me, because absolutely no one else likes powered. But if you actually do like Ultraman powered, I would recommend this figure. It's a pretty good figure. 7 out of 10. If you can get him, get him. Or if you just like the designs. That's it. This is for you. Baltan is drunk and falling over. And I will see you in the next review. Thank you for watching.